So skills that I think are that you need to be an effective tutor are you have to be responsible and knowledgeable about the information that you're covering in the first place. You have to have a lot of personal skills because people will come to you with a lot of different issues and problems, and you have to be able to identify those problems and help them find a solution. And you have to have a lot of patience because some people will come in super stressed out or having huge misunderstandings about stuff, and you have to be able to say, it's going to be okay, we'll work through this.
So, in order to be an effective tutor, the main thing that I think you need is patience, just because you have a lot of appointments back to back, so you want to be able to convey to your client that they're important to you, and also you want to be just patient with them, because then they'll want to come back and they'll want to learn more and they'll want to keep improving. You also, I think, though, need a solid understanding yourself of the stuff that you're explaining, because even if you know where this comma goes or where this semicolon goes or why this should be organized in a certain way, you really need to explain that to your client, because otherwise you'll just be fixing their paper and giving them answers.
To be an effective coach, you need flexibility when things don't always go right. You need to be able to go right to plan B, and you definitely need patience and organizational skills.
I think that to be an effective coach, you need to be patient and also adaptable, because everyone learns at a different pace and in different ways.
The most effective way to reach students is, again, just to be really friendly. If you come into the session and act really bubbly and say, hi, how are you, how's your day going, and kind of establish that rapport with them, they'll be more comfortable talking to you and asking you questions, because you want them to feel comfortable in the one-on-one setting, and that they can, if they have concerns throughout the session, they can bring them up to you without being judged.
So the most effective way to reach your client, or the student in this case, is to basically just listen to what they need, because different students will have different priorities.
Get them to use intrinsic motivation, meaning instead of using rewards, trying to get them to love the sport and to want to do well.
I think the most effective way to reach athletes would be to understand that they're individuals and approach them all differently.
Kind of relate to them, so it's important to ask about their classes, talk about their subjects. I mean, most students hopefully enjoy their major, so it's helpful for them when you ask about you ask questions. They often like to explain the stuff from their paper. And also, I think just showing interest makes it a lot more interesting for them as well, because then they kind of see that their material is engaging to you, and they're more likely to want to improve it, and they also just will enjoy the session more, and they'll be more likely to come back.
I always come up with a practice plan so that I can have things that are different, and I'm never just winging it out there. So I'll try to mix in games, contests to make things fun for the athletes.
Or to establish a rapport with them so that they kind of get to know you, and then eventually, I've been tutoring just for this. I just started tutoring this semester, but I'm starting to get regulars who keep coming back to me. So if they find you to be engaging or helpful or whatever, they'll keep coming back to you.
Because the athletes that you're coaching have to trust you. So you have to sort of be a friend to an extent, but you're always their coach first. But they need to feel they can come to you, and they need to feel they can trust you first and foremost. And that's how they will respect you as a person, because you're a person too.
For each subject or skill that we address in a session, the time that we spend on that kind of depends on what skill it is.
Usually try to spend no more than 20 minutes on a certain skill, maybe sometimes a half hour if it's something that needs a lot of work.
Because it's important to remind them that you're kind of going through the same thing.
So you want to try and teach them things instead of just correcting things.
Practice plans helps everyone stay organized, and always having a backup plan B in case things don't go right.
Be positive even when you don't really want to be there. Sometimes you don't want to be there, sometimes you don't want to work, sometimes you don't want to coach, but you need to, because in the long run it'll pay off and it's very rewarding.
So overall, we can see that it's really important to be knowledgeable of your subjects, organized, prepared, friendly, and patient when working as either a writer, tutor, or a cheerleading coach. It is important that you have these characteristics and also are knowledgeable that you need them. Thank you for watching.